Ladies and gentlemen, we interrupt your regularly scheduled programming to bring you this special bulletin. PETA is up to their old nonsense again, this time with Palworld, if you can believe it. Today, if you haven't noticed, I'm joined today by my lovely executive producer, my lizard bit. How are you doing today?
I'm doing good.
Do you have any idea who PETA is?
No, and I didn't know that's how you pronounced it.
PETA, P-E-T-A. PETA?
That's how I thought.
You thought it was PETA?
I don't know.
People for the ethical treatment of animals who are notorious for deleting shelters, because we can't. I'm not sure if we can use that word on YouTube. Deleting, Minecrafting. You familiar with that term? Animal shelters.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, they're notorious for that.
Oh.
But they want you to treat animals good and nice and kind, except they're responsible for more animal cruelty than... Anyway, moving on. Let's talk about this one in this article from Dexerto. PETA...
Like animals.
I like animals too. But we're not talking about real animals in this one.
I know. We're talking about Pokemon.
No.
Whatever.
We're talking about pals.
Pals. Sorry.
Pals.
Pals.
Palworld.
Pal.
Palworld.
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 Okay, moving on. PETA responds to Palworld's animal cruelty by suggesting a vegan guide. Now, this is not surprising, but still mind-boggling for me, because they have one, like a vegan guide for all these different animal survival games, and they speak out against Pokemon, calling it animal cruelty and animal slavery. Now, what do you think, EP, that the or Lizardbit? What do you think the main distinction between, I don't know, animals, like real, like animals, and Pokemon and pals? What do you think the main distinction is there?
Well, Pokemon and pals are like digital, and animals are like real living things that you take care of. So.
A genius take from a child. Can you believe that? Smarter than the adults at PETA. Palworld's question of what?
It's digital. Why would something digital matter to someone's life? I mean,
because it's PETA.
Okay.
You'll understand the more you learn about them.
Okay.
Or maybe you won't understand. Palworld, it should be PETA's questionable ethics. Palworld's questionable ethics around pal treatment have reached PETA, who responded with a suggestion to even things out. Questionable ethics. It's a video game, ladies and gentlemen, in case you didn't know that, because I'm pretty sure PETA is not aware of that. It's a bunch of digital ones and zeros, bunch of binary code that puts pretty colors on your screen, and things for you to accomplish to micromanage and all these nifty things. Palworld is the most popular game. Oh, I checked the Steam charts on it. This is just on Steam. You want to talk about popularity? The highest player count on Steam, which is PC.
Yeah.
2.2 million players.
That's a lot.
That's not even including the people playing on Xbox for free.
Oh.
Yeah, it's exploded, absolutely exploded in popularity, and it's a lot of people who are not happy about that, but that's for another video.
Okay.
This is much of nonsense. With a peak player count of over 2 million, I think they said 8 million copies in 6 days. 8 million, yeah, for a $30 game. That's a lot of money. I think their budget was $16 million. So yeah, you do the math.
I don't want to
do the math. Steam does take a cut of like 30% or 40% or something like that, but you know, hey chat, correct me if I'm wrong. You will. I'm sure you will. Let's see. Of course, the hit survival creature collection title is not without its detractors, because people don't want to see you having fun. Palworld has been steeped in drama since its early access launch, with the developers have reportedly received death threats. Well, of course they received death threats because, you know, this is the internet, and no matter how fun and good and wonderful a product is, you're going to receive death threats because it's anonymous and it's the internet. Even I received a death threat once, and that was before I started my YouTube channel. I'm sure it'll ramp up.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. I never told you about that?
No, you never told me.
I'm going to show you. It's funny. I still have it saved.
Oh.
Oh, yeah.
Why?
I'll show, just because I commented in the... I posted a comment in the comment section of a local news station.
News?
Yeah, news station. I was bored. Moving on.
Okay.
I'm not the only person that goes on tangents around here, okay? Palworld has been steeped in drama, blah, blah, blah. Received death threats, but yeah, don't do that. Just don't do that. It's silly. over unsubstantiated claims of AI uses and plagiarisms of Pokemon models. This is what I was talking about earlier. They're accusing Palworld of copy pasta Pokemon, even though Pokemon copied off of Dragon Quest, but nobody likes to talk about that. An ongoing fight between Pokemon and Digimon, but nobody likes to talk about that. There was Temtem last year or 2 years ago or something like that, where, yeah, nobody really talks about Temtem anymore, but that was an actual copy.
What's Temtem?
It's Pokemon on PC.
Oh.
Like, yeah, online Pokemon.
Okay.
So one claim that might be a little easier to... Sorry. The cute, aw, they're making guns.
Oh,
They're
cool.
they're being put to work.
Oh.
One claim that might be a little easier to back up, depending on your perspective, whether you're sane or not so much, is that Palworld glorifies animal cruelty. They're not real. They don't look real. The closest ones, the ones that look the closest to being real are the cows and the sheep.
Yeah.
And maybe the stand-up cats. But the pal cows,
Mm.
pal cows look like giant balloons.
And whenever you kill them, they just roll.
That's when you
And it looks
defeat.
funny.
Just say defeat. We don't say kill.
Defeat. Whatever.
Defeat. Beat them up. And they just go on. They're just unconscious.
They're just unconscious.
They're unconscious and they roll away.
I mean, yeah,
For
they
your
don't
delicate sensibilities, even though there's no actual animals like in Pokemon,
Yeah.
but there are meat dishes.
Yeah.
Oops.
I-
PETA.
I don't like that.
Welcome to the world. Anyway, PETA addresses animal cruelty in Palworld. They keep putting this narrative out there. Animal cruelty.
They're not animals.
They're digital. Playing devil's advocate. Oh my goodness, you know how to do that. It's understandable. No, it's not. No, it's not. That's like saying Grand Theft Auto 6 glorified, or Grand Theft Auto 5. 6 isn't out yet. It'll do the same thing though. They already had videos coming out. It glorifies this, glorifies crime and violence and everything. And yet, no matter how many times the political weirdos want to try, they cannot find a study to support the idea that anything happening in video games promotes that happening in the real world. It's understandable that some people would perceive Palworld's gameplay as a justification of animal cruelty, only if you have been eating paint chips for your entire life. It certainly rewards a sort of ruthless pragmatism relating to the treatment of your adorable pals. The reason why that happens, in case you didn't know, again, we're going to repeat ourselves a lot because this article is nonsense and PETA have been eating paint chips. Just because the reason why people go out of their way in video games to do the most obnoxious, cruel, hateful things like, close your ears. That was a joke.
Oh, okay.
In Grand Theft Auto, you could find a prostitute, have fun with her, pay her, and then run her over with your car and take the money.
What?
It's a video game. People don't do that. People who do that in a video game are not inclined to go do that in real life because they know it's morally and ethically wrong. Probably from the beginning of going to find a prostitute. What? Don't worry about it.
Okay.
Doing things in a video game does not equate to doing those same things in the real world. A video game, much like movies and TV and books, they are escapism. It lets you get away from the real world and do things that you would not normally be inclined to do because there's no real world ramifications for your actions. There are at times, I'll use Cyberpunk as an example, I'll go off on a killing spree just to see how long I can survive. And it's difficult for me to do because when I'm playing the game, I want to be, the most beneficial, although I will do cruel things to any gang that I see in front of me. I try to avoid the cops simply because I don't want the hassle of being chased down by MaxTac. That's the uber super army police in the game.
Oh, okay.
Yes. I figure you know that by the hundreds of hours I've played in front.
I don't really pay attention to you playing that
This
game
this is my life, ladies and gentlemen.
You beat it like 5 times. 10.
A few, not 10, 5 or 6.
A lot.
Easily.
A lot.
Okay, where were we? Certainly rewards a sort of ruthless pragmatism relating to the treatment of your adorable pets. Where are you going? When you're not beating, hacking, or shooting them, Palworld revolves around forcing them into indentured servitude, just like in Pokemon. Ineffective little work camps, just like in Pokemon. If you're not paying attention, they do the same thing. If you're particularly cruel, those who step out of line due to poor work conditions can be butchered and fed to the others. I haven't actually tried that yet. Not that we condone that sort of thing, mind you. Do it. do it. You got to do it at least once. The whole thing about, I actually saw Asmongold do it, which was the final nail in the coffin of me wanting to buy the game, even though it was on Xbox. I would have no qualms about purchasing this game if it's no longer on Game Pass. I will buy it.
Okay.
He showed them butchering one of your pals, and it's essentially you take out a butcher knife and you carve them up.
Oh.
The game censors it.
Oh.
The game actually censors it. I thought Asmongold was actually censoring it, or his editor was censoring it, but no, that's what the game does. So you want to sit there and talk about the cruelty and the cruelty of this and cruelty of that. It's like, no, Palworld, they censor it. Maybe it's for laughs. I don't know. Topic of animal cruelty in Palworld may not have received as much traction as other criticisms. That's because gamers don't care, because they have decent enough heads on their shoulders to realize that it's just a video game, and they see PETA as paint chip eaters through and through. Responding to questions about the topic from the folks at Insider Gaming, the animal rights organization, who've killed more animals than not, relayed suggestions of a vegan guide for the game. Now, here's where the fun begins. Apparently, this is not the first time that Veganuary? Hold on, I got ahead of myself.
What?
Because I'll go off on tangents. This is where we're going to have some fun talking about this, because I want your opinion.
What's Veganuary?
Apparently, okay. So PETA has already heard from many Palworld fans who have no interest in eating pals. Okay, then don't. And want a vegan guide created for the game. So, while I'm playing, it's so easy to put berries into the cook pot and have one of your pals cook the berries. And you have roasted berries and roasted mushrooms, and there's tomatoes and all this other stuff. So, if you need PETA to put out the guide, are you okay? Like, I'll ask you, Lizard.
What?
If you were playing a game and you had no desire to butcher any of the animals in the game, no matter what, and even though if you accidentally do it, because even when you catch the pals, you get their resources off of them, so you're not actually killing them, you're not chopping them up, it's just something that they drop, even though you catch them in a little, tiny little, itty-bitty living space. Phenomenal cosmic power. I need you to watch Aladdin. They still drop their resources, whether it's meat or bone or whatnot.
Bone?
Yes, bone. It's a game mechanic. It doesn't make sense. Their little creatures are gigantic walruses or mammoths put into a tiny little ball. So let's not worry about mechanics. Let's not worry about logistics when it comes to a video game of catching animals.
Okay.
If you, at your age,
yes,
wanted to play a game where you had to eat, but you didn't want to eat the animal's fleshy bits. I almost said something very wrong. Would you need a guide to be able to do it?
No. I mean, as long as there's like fruits or vegetables, I could just eat that.
Okay, so
I would just have to find it.
they grow all over the place.
Okay, then it wouldn't be that hard. I wouldn't need a guide to find some fruits in a game where there's like fruits and vegetables everywhere.
So you think this is just a nonsensical pandering to people who don't really matter?
Yeah.
If any of that made sense. I use these words a lot. Nonsensical pandering.
I know.
So, PETA spokesman review... I'm not sure how to take that. Anyway.
What is true?
Moving on.
Okay.
Let's see. A vegan guide created for the game. It's Veganuary after all. I can't even say the word with a straight face. I'll explain in a second. And gamers want to help animals by eating vegan in their game worlds and outside. So, this word, Veganuary, what month is it?
January.
It's January. Yeah, we're dating the video. So, Veganuary. Something PETA's, I guess, trying to put out, or vegans are trying to put out, to don't eat meat in January.
No.
I love my carnivore child. These animal cruelty claims may be the next big controversy. I would call it the next big non-troversy. For opponents of Palworld to champion now that the claims of 3D model theft have been walked back. They weren't just walked back. The guy that came out, okay, so one of the controversies behind this is the 3D modeling for the game. Somebody went out there and took the 3D modeling from a Pokemon and from Palworld and cheated, essentially, to push them together to make them look similar. And then he came out and said that he manipulated the 3D models as best he could in order for them to match up. You want to know the reason?
Why?
He cheated and misled everyone on the internet. It's because he didn't like the animal cruelty in the game.
That's dumb. Why
You know-
would you? Why?
Because that's what happens when you eat paint chips.
What?
Eating paint chips is my new slogan, okay? I've been
Okay.
using it for a while. People who have nonsensical arguments towards whatever, I just accuse them of eating paint chips all the time. So anyway, what do you think? What are your thoughts on this?
It's dumb.
It's dumb. That's the best you can do?
I don't know.
You don't know. PETA,
The
trying
game just
to...
looks fun to play.
Even though when I told you about chopping up and butchering the pals, you had no
Yeah,
idea.
well, I didn't know that in like the Pokemon world, that's kind of what they did to the.
What do you
Pokemon.
think we do in the real world?
Chop up animals and eat them. Well, not the vegans or vegetarians or whatever.
Yeah, well, they die of malnutrition. They get ill and sick. Anyway, but they're pumping their bodies full of vitamins. That's a whole different story. I'm not going to get on that soapbox. So hi, we're going to back to talk about the video game. Anyway, I just wanted to talk about this video and because it was so hilarious, and I wanted to get a much younger view, a younger idea, less experience, less wise thoughts on it to see. It's like, well,
I just watched you play the game and it looks fun.
hopefully we'll be playing it. You want to try it?
Sure.
Okay. Maybe we'll do a review on the game after she's played it for 5, 6, 7, 12 hours. Get addicted to it. Oh
Okay.
dear. I might not want to do that. But anyway.
I hope it comes out on Switch.
Oh. That's not going to happen, but.
Okay.
Anything else on this?
Whatever.
PETA, now that you know who the wonderful, fantastic organization that is the People for Ethical Treatment of Animals.
No.
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 You heard it here, folks. You heard it here, folks, first. I'm done. Y'all have a good one. Leave a like, leave a dislike, leave a comment. Do all those nifty little things that YouTubers beg you to do. And closing out. Hope to see you on the next one.
Try the game.
Try the game. Well, that goes without saying. Join the over 8 million people who have already purchased this game. Have a good one. Bye-bye.
Bye.